Hey YouTubers, and welcome to Bevan's Bricks. I'm Daryl, and today's video is going to be my finished, well, at least I'm going to call it finished now anyway, my Doctor Strange Sanctum set. As you can see here, well, you can see Bleecker Street, which is the street he's at the corner of. Um, what I originally did is I bought 3 of the Lego set 76108. Some people call it the Sanctorum too, by the way, but I've always called it the Sanctum. But anyway, I bought 3 of those sets and I combined them into what you see now here in front of me. What I've basically done is taking those 3 sets and I've made them a modular set, in a corner modular set, as you can see here. Now, typically, I'm sure most of you that follow me along on my channel anyway know, typically I don't edge along the front. I did it for this just because I know that it shows better on the camera anyway. But once it's placed in my city, it'll actually be tiled all the way up to the edge of the street, so the sidewalk will be much bigger and the lights will be away. So this is just to give more of a rough idea. Anyway, as you can see, like I said, I did make this in modular fashion. When I do the modular buildings, though, I never put the pegs on the side, as you can see here. Reason I don't do that is because you get a row of buildings put together along on a city block, and if you have those pegs all locked together and you want to pull out the center building, you can't. So I always just leave the pegs out. But this will line up right with the regular modular buildings. I really didn't do much details on the back because, as I said, I built this in a modular style, and being that it is a corner build, I will have a building on either side of this. So to me, there was no point in putting any details back here. The only part of the building that will be visible will be this corner, and once you see on the inside of everything that I've kind of crammed inside there, we'll say, I guess I really didn't have any room. As a matter of fact, this is an opening, this is a stairwell on the inside of the building, so I just left it the way that it is. As you can see, I put a small little, just for some detail, this is a back door, and I put a little street, or not a street lamp, but a porch light back there, and a little trash can, as in the alleyway is usually where you have your trash pickup. And then on the front, I have done a lot of, as a matter of fact, we'll pull it in kind of close here. I've done a lot of changes in comparison to the original build. For example, the first thing you'll notice here is this is all nice and tiled. And then I even made a nice little sloped staircase or handrail on either side of that. And then I sloped it back and back onto the regular slope. I didn't like how in the original set they have this just bare studs. I didn't think that was attractive in any way, shape, or form. Other than that, on the first floor anyway, the only other thing I added was the corner to bring it down and around. And of course, because they didn't have this side, this whole side has also been added. And then I put the door, if you're familiar with the movie or the comic book for that matter, there is a side entry door on that, or at least in some of the photos I've seen of it anyway. As a matter of fact, I was gonna say I'll show you the photo that I kind of worked from, but really it doesn't match exactly because there should be an extra floor if I was to have gone from the floor, or the actual photo I was working from the artwork from the movie. Excuse me. But on this side, I put 2 entry lights, and I did the same thing on the entrance as well. I put 1 entry light on each side of the doorway. I thought it gave it a more aesthetic appearance anyway. The next thing, oops, I keep bumping into my traffic light there. The next thing I can point out, on the second floor, I did add, I think it was 2 rows of tiles to the bottom of the floor, and I added a row of tiles, actually I think it was 2 tiles to the top of the floor. So the second floor is taller than the original build. A lot of the addition and a lot of the customization is actually on the top section, or the top floor. As you'll notice here, I put in my own edging. I did my own corner piece and all that. I really loved the window, which that's what makes it the Doctor Strange set. So, of course, that remained in the build. But there's a lot of really neat details on the interior of the building. which I'm going to get to that right now. Okay, now that I've actually taken the top floor off the building, so I can kind of open this up. I guess I should have opened it up before. I tried to spend a lot of time putting a lot of different effects or artifacts, I guess would be the better way to put it, as with all the builds, or if you're familiar with the movie at all, there was always lots of bookshelves, and it's like if you look down in the bookshelves, there's little artifacts and ancient things, old things, just there was a whole hodgepodge of I can't think of the word. It's not just artifacts, but relics. That's the word I'm looking for. In books, in maps, and things of that nature. And if you're at all familiar with the Lego sets from the Doctor Strange, this little set was another Sanctum set. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to remember, the set was 76060. And I really thought that was a neat feature from that set, so I also included it into my build. And then the really cool thing about my particular build, which let me show you that, is I tried to keep the playability factor in it. If you look there, you'll see kind of a little line. And what that's for is so I can pop that off, and I can still grab it and play with this and move the monster around inside the room. So I kept the playability of that exact set, and I also got to add it, and I thought that was a really cool detail to have added to this build. Something else that you might notice, if you are a longtime viewer anyway, I did put my phonograph, or old record player if you will, on the table up there, as Doctor Strange, if you're familiar with the movies, absolutely loved music. At the very beginning of the movie, he was having a contest. People were always trying to stump him on the years of music release dates and things of that nature, and he's a huge music fan. So that was kind of my reasoning for putting that in the build. And I knocked him over with the monster. But anyway, I kind of set up a little battle scene since I had the little monster in there with the other figurines that were included in the original set, which was this one over here. But I thought that was a really cool touch to add to the building. And then as you can see in this corner here, this is where my stairwell actually comes up, and then I have a little stairwell there as well. So let me slide this to the side, and I will now show you the second floor. If we can get this to come off fairly easily anyway. The second floor, again, if you're familiar with the movie, when you first walk in the building, you walk in and then there's this big grand staircase. And then there's a railing all the way around that staircase. Well, this is where the staircase comes up to, and then that's the railing that's around that staircase. And again, the building was full of a lot of relics and artifacts and just antique looking things. So I tried to spend a lot of time to make a lot of really interesting looking pieces and builds. And I know some of this is really hard to see. That's the only thing I hate about trying to show a building after I have built it. But I got 3 bookcases there, and on the middle floor of each bookcase I tried to put something that looked relic-like. On the left I got a hat, and then I got a skull, and then I have it's just a diamond that's there. Over here I just thought that was a really neat looking piece. That is the diamond skull from the Indiana Jones sets that were out a few years back, but I thought that looked like a really cool relic. Then as you can see here, I have a small display. As a matter of fact, I can see if I can pull that out of there. And I did, and I pulled it right off its base. But all that is a treasure chest top with a window over the top of it. And I just have a little a gun and a compass. And that is from the Jack Sparrow series on display inside of that. And you know what, I'll do it after because it'll take me forever. And then I do believe I already covered this in one of my previous videos. This is the display case that Doctor Strange's cape was on display in the movie. This is just another random display case that I made. As a matter of fact, I will try and get some closer views for you guys. And then you can see that I put like a little weapon on a on display there. And I have weapons all through the hallway, if you can look. I put a little shield on one display. I just like I said, tried to decorate it as much as possible with different unique artifacts and weapons and relics, anything that looked old. As a matter of fact, there you can see a little candelabra, have more weapons. And then behind that stairway, I kind of hidden a little treasure chest because I figured that's kind of where he keeps his pride stuff there. Anyway, on to the first floor of the build now. I have made this, first of all, this is the grand staircase that walks up to the center of the second floor that I was referring to. I didn't tile any of the floors on any of these builds, primarily because I got tired of trying to order brown plates to try and tile it. It probably would have looked better in the finished product, but tiling everything all the time gets expensive, and I'm trying to save some of that for my park and other things like that that will be visible all the time. So with a lot of my future builds, I'm going to probably start stopping on the tiling of the floors anyway. But in here, I tried to make it, like I do with all my builds, as detailed as possible. This is the front entry door that he walks into. Like I said, there's the grand staircase that he sees, or that you see in the movie when you first walk in. And then, like I said, I tried to mimic this to be like his living quarters. So this is his living room with two little lamps that you can see over there on the side. I've shown, if I'm not mistaken, now that I just knocked that off, I showed, this was my last video, which was the typewriter, the telephone, and the lamp, which is his little desk. This is the bookcase that I decided to build behind him. And in the center of the bookcase, he has another weapon on display. And then over here, I just made a small coat rack or a hat rack. And then on this side entry, like I said, this is supposed to be his living quarters. This is the door that you can come in and off from the side of the building. I put a little stove, a little sink, and some cabinets in there. So that's his little living quarters. And then I also have a bathroom door here, and I have his bedroom door here. And we will try and get a better look at that. On the bathroom, I just put a toilet, a very small sink, and a shower. And then in the bedroom, I put a very small bed. I put a little closet in the corner, and you can see that his shirt and pants are hanging on the closet rack. And there's a little shelf above that so he can store some of his books, as he's always reading and trying to learn about new relics and artifacts and spells so he can time travel and such. Well, I wouldn't really say time travel, but I really don't know what you'd call it. Slipstreaming, maybe? Anyway, as you can see with that, let's see, does that give you a better view? Actually, yeah, it does. Now, as you can see there, I'm going to start putting all the pieces back up on top of it one at a time here, so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like inside with the pieces on. So again, that was the first floor, and the second floor slides over that. Like I said, you can see that the grand staircase comes up, and then you walk around, and then you can come up this staircase here. And I think if I go to put on the top floor, it's going to fall. So hold on one sec. Well, I guess it's not too close anyway, but again, now you can see how the stairs comes up right here, the curved stairs that was in the corner. Now let me put the top back on that. And I've repositioned the camera back around so we can get a better view from the front again. As always with any of my videos, always feel free to contact me, comment anything below. If there's anything specifically in this build that you would like to see a how-to video on, please feel free to ask. I'm always willing to share ideas and try and help people how to get new ideas and build techniques. But for the most part, that is all of the building. I thank you guys for coming to Bevan's Bricks. I hope you enjoyed this video. As I was just saying, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share below. And if you have any questions or comments, again, please don't forget to comment below. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this mock. I do have more stuff coming here in the near future. I'm waiting on some parts so I can finish my park, because I'm going to wait until that is fully completed before I actually reveal that. And hopefully once I get that done, because I'm only waiting on profile bricks, I will be doing a city update video after I get that park done. So A lot of new videos, a lot of cool videos coming up. I'm going to do a few more small builds probably immediately after this one over the next few days. But again, thanks everybody. I've been shocked with how much my channel's been growing. I really appreciate the support. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And again, just want to say thanks. If you have any questions or comments, comment below. Thanks for coming to Bevan's Bricks. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you next time on Bevan's Bricks.